So today in this chapter we'll be discussing about Newton's first law of motion. So what is Newton's first law of motion? Okay, here we will be discussing. So Newton's first law of motion, every body continues to be in the state of rest or in state of motion unless and until it is compelled by an external force acting upon it. Okay, so as it states, so every object in the universe continues to be in a state of rest. Either it wants to be in the state of rest only or in the state of motion only. So unless it is compelled by an external net force acting upon it, so any force has to be applied on an object so that there is a modification in the motion or in the direction. Okay, suppose consider this is a table and this is an object placed. Okay, so it will be in the rest. Okay, so there is no force acting, net force acting upon this object is 0, so it is on the rest. So suppose a force is applied from here, from the right side, 10 Newton, the left side a 10 Newton force is applied. So what happens? So each force that is opposite in direction get cancelled, then again get cancelled, and again the object will be in rest position only. So when the object will move, when there is a net force, an unbalanced force acting upon it, so suppose one more 10 Newton force is applied. So if we consider summation of F is equal to 0, from right to left it is total 20 Newton, from from left to right it is 20 Newton, and from right to left it is 10 Newton. Okay, 20 minus 10 is equal to 10 Newton. It acts on the right side, so body moves to the right. So this is when there is an unbalanced force, it moves according to the force applied. So here in this case it will move to the right. So this is one example, a body at rest when a force is acted upon it. Okay, a space shuttle moving in the space. Okay, here the space shuttle is moving in the space. Okay, when it is actually in the movement, so there is no force acting upon it. Okay, so there will be no change in the direction or in the acceleration, or it will be in a constant velocity. Okay, velocity is constant, so acceleration is equal to 0, so it is moving constantly. Suppose when a force is applied from the opposite direction, okay, suppose think a air drag appears, it enters to the some atmosphere where air drag is there. So in that case, if it is moving with some velocity, okay, if it is a, suppose think this spaceship is moving with a velocity of 1000 meter per second. Okay, so when there is some force is applied, when there is a air drag or resistance appears on opposite direction, there will be change in the movement. Okay, the velocity gets reduces because of the air drag. The velocity gets reduces. So this is what Newton's first law says. Body continues in a state of rest or in the motion unless it is compelled by an external force acts upon it. This is an external force here, this is the external force here, so it remains, it don't want to change itself. So unless it is compelled by an external force. Why? This is because of inertia. In the previous section we have already discussed about the inertia. What is inertia? One more time I will tell you. Inertia is resistance to the change. Resistance is change of state. So Newton's first law is also called as law of inertia. Okay, this is can be also called as law of inertia. Okay, this is Newton's first law. I think, I hope you guys have understood. Okay, thank you.